Ready right now, ready right now. Came for the win, gonna win hands down. This ain't a game, where's my crown? Give it to me right now, let me grab it right now. Ready right now, ready right now. We don't ever lose, cause we got it right now. Push you in the face with a score right now. You don't like the way it is, come and see me, you a clown. Ready right now, ready right now. Ready right now, ready right now. Ready right now, ready right now. Hey, ready right now. Ready right now. Ready right now. Ready right now. Ready right now.
From US Bank Stadium, it is the semifinals of the Class AAA Girls Soccer Tournament, and the Centennial Cougars back here once again, one win away from playing for a state title. Good morning, J.W. Cox alongside Blythe Whaley. And Blythe, an exciting time here certainly to get to the bank, to be here one game away from the state championship. Both of these teams have been in this position, but the excitement I'm sure never changes.
Oh, exactly. These ladies have been planning this and wanting this the entire season. This is something you look forward to. Getting to US Bank Stadium is certainly that highlight of the season if you can do it.
And it is early. It'll be a 10 a.m. kickoff here when this one goes live, and that takes these players back to youth soccer days. Not a lot of games kicking off 10 a.m. or earlier. It is the second game of the day already, too, but it's got to be a different mindset, too, coming in to kick it off that early, earlier than you're used to.
Yeah, I remember in my state days, it was definitely that adjustment. You have to figure out your new routine. Normally you have your morning routine, but then you also have your pregame later on in the day. Now you kind of have to mix the two together, wake yourself up, whether that means you're getting some caffeine, but for sure a good breakfast and trying to settle those nerves early on.
Well, one thing that isn't unfamiliar, it's these two opponents in the last 6 tournaments. This will now be the 3rd time they have met in the semifinals or later. We take you in the Wayback Machine first, all the way back to 2016 when these two teams met in the championship game of 3A. That game here at US Bank Stadium, it was 4 years ago, 5 years ago, yesterday on November the 3rd, Tessa Treadle. We'll see a Treadle in this one too. It was Tessa who got things started with the first goal of the game, assisted by Olivia Lovick. Anna Swaven had a great run in that state tournament in goal, making big saves. And then it was Treadle again in the second half, also assisted by Olivia Lovick. Remember that name when you talk Cougars and Irish. Amanda Alice earlier to keep the family tradition going in the quarterfinals had a big OT shootout goal that helped the Cougars get there. They win it 2-1, their state title in 2016. Fast forward 3 years, this game, 10 a.m. kickoff in 2019 in the semifinals. That one going scoreless until a foul on Olivia Lovick in the second half in the box. Madison Monson stepped in for the PK, got it 1-0 Cougars. Back come the Irish. Lexi Orlando tied the game just moments later. And we go 1-1 into overtime, second overtime session. It's that time Lauren Ollis, who was fouled in the box. She takes the penalty kick, and as she told Blythe after the game, 1, 2, 3, hit. That's all she was thinking about. She made the kick, sends the Cougars to the championship game. They would lose to Maple Grove, but you play an opponent, Blythe, we talked about it. Wayzata and Centennial last week, they've been in so many state tournaments, never played. These two teams always on a collision course.
Yeah, and that's what they're looking forward to. They're looking forward to that redemption. If you're Rosemount, you want to make sure that you're able to take this team on and actually get a victory here in the state tournament against them. And both of these teams have the defense to do so, JW.
And that's going to be, I think, the key to this. They can both score. They both average 4.5 goals per game, but you know it, I know it, everybody out there knows it. In these types of games, defense is going to rise to the occasion. These two teams have been so tremendous all season long on defense.
Yeah, Rosemount coming into the game, outscoring their opponents 55-0 in the last 12 games. And Centennial, on the other hand, outscoring their opponents 34-3 in the last 8 games. So both of these defenses know what it takes to get it done.
They have played a combined 39 games. 30 of those have been shutout victories for these two teams. See if the offense can get it going. We'll write another chapter in this Rosemount Centennial rivalry here at US Bank Stadium in the state tournament. State semifinals, Cougars and Irish coming your way next on North Metro TV.
The fight goes on. The battle is not yet won. By now, we're tired, asking for a tag in. But now is not the time to let down our guard, because just when you think this opponent seems to be pinned down, it comes back to life and when you least expect it. So keep your guard up, because if your mask comes off, the fight is lost for all.
Back inside U.S. Bank Stadium, J.W. Cox alongside Blythe Whaley, and Blythe about to kick this one off. The Cougars and the Rosemount Irish, these two teams, as mentioned off the top, meeting for the third time in 6 tournament semifinals or later. The offense does bear some talking about too, because these teams have found ways to score. It's going to be tough. These are two of the best defenses in the entire state, but 4.5 goals per game. So many different goal scorers on both of these teams, and that kind of balance, Blythe, might be the way to counteract some of this defense.
Yeah, when you have multiple players on your team, it's really tough to defend. You can't just start to man mark someone or look to make sure that you're having 2 defenders rush at them, because you're going to get beat. And these defenses know that when they've played against other teams that have those multiple scorers. But since both of these teams have that, you'll see that even played game. And as you mentioned, possibly not more than, a couple goals in this game.
Last 2 times they've met at the state tournament level, it's been 2-1, once in overtime and once in regulation, as the Irish get whistled for the first foul on Lauren Allis. Right to left go the Cougars in red in this state semifinal game. Left to right, the Irish in the mostly white uniforms today. It has been Jordan Metz in net throughout their playoff run, 8 of 8, saving goals in the quarters. And I thought the biggest save, obviously, that Metz made, Blythe, was in that penalty shootout. If you can get your goaltender to make a big save, they also got help from the post, that's going to give you that success in a shootout scenario, and she got it done.
I think it builds confidence, too. Coming into this semifinal, knowing you were able to step up to the challenge, make that save, allow your team to advance, and now knowing today, if it does come to that, she knows she has that handled.
Foul on the Cougars allows the Irish the deep free kick. Defensive back line led by Sydney Cubes, who dealt with a cramping issue last time she was out on the field. That was at Lakeville North Outdoors. We also saw the injury issue for Sarah Strating as well, so we'll keep an eye on the playing time for both of those players. Cubes out there now. Strating not yet, as this one, no, there she is, excuse me. She's streaking towards the ball, and Jordan Hecht, the goaltender, all the way out of the box to boot that one away. It'll be a Cougar throw, and Hecht knows this matchup too. She was the goalie back in 2019.
And to have that experience coming into today's game, it helps. Those nerves playing in U.S. Bank Stadium, a much larger environment than you've been playing throughout your career if you haven't been able to make it to this point. We talk about Jordan Metz being just a sophomore, not having that experience playing on the stage yet.
Cougars off a couple of throw-ins near midfield, trying to work it on the far side. Taken away for the Irish by Taylor Heimrell. A lot of these Irish players, they remember that state tournament run just like the Cougars do just 2 years ago, younger in their careers, but still impact players. As we mentioned, Heck, who's a junior now, was the keeper in that game and faced the 2 penalty kicks that the Cougars scored on. Taken away aggressively by McKenna Monson up front. Monson splitting 2 defenders, goes wide near side for Strating. Back to Monson to reset. Brooklyn Boardson avoids a trip. Boardson with space and Allis ahead. Goes to Allis. Surrounded by 3 defenders, plays tight with Boardson. Brooklyn Boardson into the middle, tried to find Strating, and it was booted away by the defense of the Irish, Joey Edgar, one of the seniors on this team and a captain, able to change the field and push it up the far side. 3 minutes gone in this one, as Metz has to make a diving save, and she had Shay Payne, who scored 11 goals this season, has 4 in the postseason, bearing down on her, and Metz makes the save.
Something I wanted to mention too is what we saw in the quarterfinal. The Centennial team didn't come ready to play in that first half. We saw Wyzetta really taking it to them in the first half. They made those adjustments.
Marissa Frost got it to the middle and found Strading, who just couldn't get enough on that to get it past Hecht. Yeah, you're right. It was all Wayzata in that first 40 minutes. We were on pins and needles with the Cougars defense trying to hang on. They have to be able to flip that script today against a good Rosemount team.
And we've seen them be able to get inside the box already a couple times in this early part of today's game. And that only, looks great for them as they're looking to find the net first.
Cougars whistled for the foul. This one past midfield, so a chance to do something here dangerous for the Irish. Ava Grate, 13 goals, 7 assists, big leg. She'll put her foot into it right at the 40-yard line. Sends it down in front, had a foot of a teammate in there. It was Heimrel, 14 goal scorer, 20 assists, 2 more coming in the postseason, and that was right to her, just a shade out of reach.
Yeah, she is a difference maker, as you can see, of course, getting 14 goals, but those 20 assists really just shows the impact she's able to have to set her teammates up.
Cougar ball, the throw in their own half over the field. Back to the environment you were talking about, and obviously this isn't a full stadium like it would be for a Vikings game or something like that. And me, I've always let that distract me from, it's a little quieter in here than you would expect. We're also above the fray a little bit at this point. But all of the players who talked about their 2019 experience for Rosemount and Centennial mentioned the atmosphere. As Strading runs onto the ball and Hecht has to punch it away. And that'll be a corner coming up for the Cougars. So Centennial will get this first opportunity, finishing the thought quickly. There is an atmosphere down there. Their students are a lot closer than we are, and they can feel that energy.
Yeah, I remember knowing just how much of a turnout your school was able to bring and how much it helped.
So Lauren Ollis to take the first corner kick of the game. Sends it to the backside. Brooklyn Bortson settles it down. Knocked around behind the fray. Over comes Aly Hamski to get it back to Ollis. Ollis, whose name just flashed on the scoreboard as a finalist for the Miss Soccer Award, battles down to the goal line and loses that battle that time to Grace Bartlett. Pushes it away for Rosemount, and they survive that corner kick opportunity. Up the field, only as far as midfield, while it's turned back by the Cougars and Monson. In the middle for Hamski, one of the heroes of the shootout who scored that clinching goal to send the Cougars to this semifinal game. Throw in as the ball skipped past Malia Belby, one of the seniors on this Cougar team.
I really like how composed the Cougars have seemed throughout the start of today's game, and I think it just bodes well for them today. We saw them playing a little bit on their heels, as we talked about in that quarterfinal, and today it seems right from the get-go they have been ready to play.
Belby settles it down. Taken away by Rosemount. Battle for it at midfield, and down hard goes Aly Hamski. She was up in the air and jostled from behind, and that's going to ring your bell, easily give the official the chance to blow the whistle. Aly Hamski, we've seen her, we talked about it off air. She started her career playing as an underclassman and was one of the smaller players all the time. She's grown since then, but she's still not the biggest out there and took the worst of that collision. Cubes all the way into Hecht will make the save.
Yeah, glad to see her get up, continue on. She has a definite impact in the back line for Centennial and how well they've done this season.
Playing through midfield as we are scoreless here. No surprise inside the first 8 minutes of this semifinal matchup. Cougars and Irish. And the Centennial Cougars getting here and looking for that second state title. They went to the state title game in 2019, the last time they faced the Irish, but lost to Maple Grove. They have been a dominant program, though, over the years, turned themselves into one of the dominant forces in girls soccer in the state. Only Lakeville North with more trips to the state tournament since 2009 than the Centennial Cougars. Lauren Ollis trying to break free from the defensive end and does that, splitting 2 defenders. With skill, able to change the field position. Couldn't find Marissa Frost on the near side. Allows Bordson to get into the act, though, at midfield. Bordson running with Ollis. Sprints past her in the middle. Bordson trying to make something happen on her own. Bordson fires it left side for Frost with the goaltender focused on Bordson and just couldn't connect. Cougar ball on the throw-in.
But they've been able to get into this final third, it seems, with ease. The Cougars work the ball up the field, finding each other, connecting.
Throw-in aimed for Boardson. If that connects, though, that's a goal because the goal was wide open as Hecht had committed to coming out on Boardson. And that's kind of the skill of Brooklyn Boardson that is so impressive for her, right, Blythe? She's able, in close quarters, to be able to just ball handler her way into a spot and make defenses commit.
When you think about what that does for her teammates, how much it can open the field, open those spaces for them, because they're going to collapse on her, and how can she dish it off?
Second free kick from right here, about this same spot in the field, same distance, opposite side of the midline of the field. Cougar fans didn't like the call. Irish fans remind them of the rules. Headed away first by Sydney Cubes. Right to Strating. Strating didn't get right on the ball, allowed a second touch from Rosemount. Cougars try to move it through, deflected by Lisette Thurman. Full Rosemount out of bounds, and it will be Cougar ball. Feeling out time. You almost discount Blythe. There will still be nerves for these players, right? They've both been here, so you almost try to discount that a little bit. But anytime you're in this position, you're going to have those nerves that really you hope go the other way and propel you on to be even sharper throughout this game.
It's something you can't think about trying to get to that final. You just have to worry about this game, make it your best game, and if you start to think about those things that come later, wanting to make it to the final, wanting to make it to the championship, it's going to make it tougher here today, and it seems like the Cougars have that under wraps.
Sarah Strating with Tessa Treadle into the game for the first time, as Treadle's now on that right side wing. Tatum Treadle, excuse me. Tessa was the hero in 2016, scoring the 2 goals. Tatum Treadle with 8 goals in the season, 4 more in the postseason. She's now out on the right side wing, high side of the screen. Boardson runs it into the back heel of Alice, so it deflects back, force Hamski to play it to the near side. It'll be out and deflected by Rosemount. Both these players, though, know how to handle that stress. All right, I'm going to ask you, though, as the soccer player at a high level, and just like these players down on the field, not as that person. The lines have already thrown me off. I've done games here. I've done soccer games here. I should know, but every time I see a line coming up, it starts to throw me off. Are players on a field like this that's painted with the multiple lines able to put that out of their head too?
I remember it being difficult when I played at the Metrodome, and you see, especially on that far side of the field, multiple yellow lines. And so if you know, hey, which line is it, you have to start to figure that out early.
Sarah Strating thought the whistle was going to come on Rosemount, but it comes on the Cougars, as that was a beautiful through ball right to Strating, right to her foot. But the whistle comes against the Cougars. This was almost in the box, the opposite box. So Rosemount being told by our official to move it back. 3 officials as normal in play. There's another desk official here at the state tournament, and then multiple officials actually up in the press box, as I learned walking in with one of said officials, keeping an eye on things. They don't have any impact on the game itself, but this is one of the times where they can evaluate some of these top officials. Is a great feed right to the middle, and Jordan Metz makes a big save. She's got 2 in the game already, and that time turns away Jenna Johnson.
And I think, as we talked about earlier, that big save during that penalty shootout in the last game, it's brought some confidence. It seems right out of the gates, Metz has just been able to come out and make those big saves.
Tatum Treadle, far side. Cougars reverse it back. A little help from the defender, Avery Littlefield. That one booted back by Rosemount before it can even really do much damage in front of the net. Frost tries to settle it down. There are players like Marissa Frost, who this is the first brush at state tournament play, sprinkled in on these teams. But they have plenty of senior and upper class leadership to kind of help guide them through at this point. Ball meant to have maybe Frost feeding in or Strating coming back to it. Allows Rosemount to get there first and clear it all the way back to Sydney Cubes. Can't really overstate her value. We talk about it every time, Blythe. I mean, the size, but then just the skill that she has on the defensive back line, what she can contribute on those set pieces as well when everybody can come forward. Sydney Cubes, one of several, but certainly one of the motors in the engine that drives this Cougar team, certainly from the back.
And it makes sense. She's moving on, playing at that next level here next year.
Treadle blocked away in pursuit of her own block. It's still alive as had it booted away by her own defense, so maybe a little too much help that time. The defense just making sure it got cleared, and turns into an opportunity with the throw-in. Tatum Treadle providing that pressure, as we've seen her do so many times. Never should have talked about Tessa in the end.
But that's something we've talked about throughout the season, Centennial having multiple family members throughout the years.
It does make it fun. And talked to former coach Ginger Flohog at the football game a couple of weeks ago just about that, and brought a smile to her face with the players that she's coached and now seen the different family members and different ages come through her program. So Abley now taken over by Krista Carlson as there's a shot by Strating and a save by Heck. That had some steam and some hook on it, and Heck was able to grab it, headed towards that upper 90 left.
The Cougars are definitely testing Hecht in this first half, and something for her too. I thought she's coming into this game, she has the experience already having played in a state tournament, but also she has that experience of losing to these Cougars. And so how that can play with you mentally as you're trying to take them on again today, knowing, like you said, if there is a free kick just outside the box that she's going to have to try to defend, and know that she's already not been able to in games past.
You brought it up. 2021 has kind of been a revenge tour for the Rosemount Irish, and this is their next chance at that, losing to the Cougars in 2019 and 2016, though that's completely different rosters when you go 5 years ago. But earlier already, to get to the state tournament, they beat Egan, who ended their season 1-0 a year ago in what turned out to be the final game for everyone, but kept them from a section title in the shortened no state tournament 2020 season. And they were able to come back, same team, same spot at Egan, and get the victory to move on to the state tournament. They would beat Elk River 4-0 in the first round, 2 days after the Cougars went through the thrilling overtime shootout procedure to finish off Wayzata. Strating, battling for possession in the middle. Hamski came up to try and provide support, and the Irish able to extricate it from that zone. Shea Payne tried to turn upfield, deflected right away by the Cougars. 24.5 minutes to go in this first half. We are scoreless, no surprise there. But it can happen in an eye blink. The Cougars, couple of opportunities. There have been shots with some heat on it, saved already by Jordan Metz. Two teams that scored close to 5 goals per game. You know the goal scorers are there if they get their opportunity. There's Treadle. Why not put the shot on net? That's something we talked about too last week in their quarterfinal game, Blythe, was when the game was going against them like that, when they did get opportunities anywhere near the front of the net, just take a shot. Some good things are going to happen.
Yeah, and it seems they have released a few here today, putting Hecht in position to have to make a save, and that's what you need to do. You have to test her. You have to test her early. Possibly some of those nerves can play to your favor here in the early parts of today's game.
Both of these teams 7 times this season scored 5 goals in a game. Here's Tatum Treadle again, and she tried to turn and fire. It's deflected, though, off of Ashley Harold, and that deflection will give the Cougars their second corner kick of the game. No corner kicks yet. Each team officially credited with 1 shot on goal. They are keeping that on the big scoreboard here inside US Bank Stadium. Hollis again near side. To the far side looking for Cubes, but the Irish got there first as Ava Grate was able to out-jump Sydney Cubes. He was trying to keep possession and the pressure on, but it's taken away by the Irish with a nifty move from Heimrel. She only gets as far as midfield before the Cougars turn her back, but then the ball trickles back behind that first line of defense. 1-on-1 for Payne. Payne feeds the middle. Cougars there. It's Cubes right in the middle to deflect that out. A great job of recovering when they needed to by the Centennial defense.
And it helps Metz, of course, if the defense can take care of it before it even gets to her. We've seen Cubes do that throughout the season, and she does a big one here.
So it seemed 1-on-1 in the near side as Shea was attacking against Monson, trying to go step for step, but there were 3 Cougars forming a line on their way back, and that helped defend that pass to the middle. Deep throw-in, got a lot on that towards the front of the net, redirected, and Metz is right there. Excellent attempt by the Irish. Shea Payne sent it toward the goal, and Jordan Metz plucks it out of the air. All the way down on the goal kick to Marissa Frost, who steps around a defender, has Strating down the near side. Tries to feed it there, forced out of bounds by Edgar. This Rosemount team started the season 7-0, then lost their lone game. Really the only one they're not going to get a chance to redeem themselves on this redemption tour as Addison Van Zee will check into the game. They lost to Lakeville North 4-2. They allowed 5 goals all season, Blythe, and 4 of them came in that game against the Panthers. So anybody playing Rosemount, Cougars hope it's just here today and they end their season. But you look back at that Lakeville North game and figure out how they did it, and there's your answer.
And sometimes you wonder if they just put their heads down. Once they had 2 goals scored on them, what did they do? How did they respond? And of course, they didn't seem to respond too well. Or was that Lakeville team just that good to be able to net those?
That is a state tournament team. They lost in the first round to Stillwater, who just in the early session upset number 1 seeded Edina. So the Cougars right now the highest seed remaining in this state tournament. In this 2-3 matchup, the Cougars as the 2 seed as Edina goes down, giving up goals in the second half to lose that one 3-2. They did respond, speaking of Rosemount, after that game. They haven't lost since. 12 straight shutouts since. And as Blythe mentioned off the top, they've outscored their opponents 55-0 since then. And now Rosemount will earn their first corner kick, as the Cougars just could not redirect that one. Monson, not quite enough speed to get there. A couple of substitutions coming in for the Irish. They have to counter what the Cougars do. A lot of players coming in. Olivia Bowl will check in for Rosemount alongside Jenna Johnson. Rosemount getting crafty. They have Heimrel lined up, and she will take it towards the front of the net. Ricocheting headers. Cougars able to direct it out. Alice trying to carry it out of the box. Battling, physical, and able to move it.
Yeah, Cubes there again in position to help Metz not have to make a save.
Good things are happening either side, right? As that one came up and hopped into the hand of Rylan Rintoul. Either way, on defense, defending a corner, on offense, taking a corner, if Sydney Cubes gets her head on it, something good is happening, right? You're either clearing it out or probably scoring a goal. All the way down to Treadle.
Ash will get to step onto that field playing college soccer here next fall. It's interesting to think about just what that impact she'll have on that team. She's been such a force here for the Cougars, and it seems she'll bring that leadership and only help that team excel.
That one deflected out, and it will be a Cougar corner. So first time they'll go from the far side with their third. It's always interesting to watch. You did it. That transition going from one level of soccer to the next. That was a transition period. They'll get to do that coming up next year as Alice sends it towards the front of the box. Headed, and Hecht makes a diving save. Cubes was there, so was Addison Van Zee, the sophomore. I'm not sure who exactly got the contact, but 2 Cougars on the spot, and they force Hecht to pick it up. Still scoreless, under 20 minutes to play in half number 1. Battle at midfield. Brooklyn Bortson. It's a slide edge on that, leaning forward. Sends it down, hoping Van Zee, who we did not see in the quarterfinals, can cut over and grab that. The student section for Rosemount, decked out in construction gear, plucks that one out of the air.
Now they're very bright.
They're very bright, and I think the student sections are a little more even. They might have a few more, but they look like they're more because of the brightness, I believe.
That's true.
They've been louder so far. Cougars looking for something to cheer. The standards are very high when it comes for the student section for this girls soccer team. They know when they're needed, and I'm sure they'll be there.
You've talked about the lines and just how tricky that can be, and I think also it's because those orange lines are not as bright as that yellow and that white. So I remember thinking that too, if you're trying to almost look for the line here at this stadium, just because there's obviously more lines than they've played with all season.
Your sidelines and everything with the filled in white. Don't always have that. Cougars used to the turf though, and have been for several years, so they know how that can roll. It's going to be a corner 2. It was off the Cougars, so second corner attempt here of the half for the Irish.
A little over 17 minutes remain in the first half. Of course, being scoreless, neither team feels that urgency to have to net one. But, of course, just that pressure that's relieved once you're able to.
Heimrel takes it right in front of the student section for the Cougars. Metz punches it out, It stays in for just a time and then rolls back out. So another corner attempt. Aly Hamski was there, didn't have a chance to get a foot on it. Try and boot it out. Again, they go 2-by-2 over there, with Rylan Rentoul standing to potentially do something, but all three corners now have been booted deep. And now a whistle against Rosemount, and the Cougars will survive. Back-to-back corners, as the Irish now have 3 in this contest. Goal kick for Jordan Metz. Cougars in 3 of the last 5 state tournaments, their 8th all-time appearance. And getting to this game, at the very least, has been something that they've made a habit of. They've now reached the semifinals in 6 of their 8 total state tournament berths. To the bank. Cougars, not all to the bank. Obviously, they started going to the state tournament in 2009. Battle along the sideline and no whistle. Play on against Tatum Treadle. Hollis just pokes it to Bordson. That footwork in close quarters for Brooklyn Bordson. Not on the same page as Sarah Strading, who veered back towards her, tried to lead her towards the goal line. And it's a goal kick with coming up on 15 minutes to go in this first half. 7th trip to the state tournament for Rosemount. They had more in the 90s after going for the first time back in 1984. Had a 3 straight tournament run, 95 through 97. And this is their 3rd trip, including 2016, since that 2016 run to the state championship game.
It's always nice for players making it to the state tournament, having that visibility. A lot of coaches are here watching and trying to find those players. Soccer's played in the fall here, and it allows that time to, even if you're still looking and trying to find that for your senior year where you're going, there's still time.
Ball up ahead, Metz makes a dive and turns away Vagrate, and both stay down an extra moment. Metz able to come up off the deck. And so is Grate. That's a great run for her. It's hard to be faster than this Centennial defense, and she split them there. Both student sections happy that their particular players were able to bounce back up from that collision. It hasn't been lopsided. It's been different and pretty balanced here. Both teams getting these opportunities, Blythe, not just from the corner kick side where it's 3-all, but also rushes down the field, keeping Metz and Hecht, the goaltenders, involved.
And with that being said, that both teams are allowing that other offense to get in that final third, have a shot, put something on net. It just means you have to score on those opportunities you do have, because your opponent's probably going to get an opportunity of their own as we get further into the game.
Rentoul pushes it up the far side for the Irish. Trying to work it over there past Avery Littlefield, who takes a bump, ends up down on the deck, gets back up, and now a whistle coming on the Cougars. Not sure where that was. Littlefield ended up down on the deck, and then she got some extra defensive help over there. It looked like from Caroline Lowinger. Didn't see a lot of contact after that, but that's where the whistle comes, and now the most dangerous free kick that Rosemount has had so far. Be taken by Grate. Cubes is standing directly in front of Metz, and that one headed dangerously on the near side, but not cleanly. Cougars were there. Looked like McKenna Monson able to help make a defensive play in front of the net. And it'll be a Cougar throw in deep on their own end.
And Grate scoring at 13 goals and having 7 assists on the season. So it makes sense she's the one taking that, putting that one into the mix and trying to get one past the Cougars.
Van Zee puts her foot into it, trying to find Treadle back towards the middle of the field. Cubes, a rare misplay there, back in the defensive end, able to track it down, keep it inbounds. Give the defense a chance as Lowinger sends it deep down the field. Intercepted by the Irish, keeping the pressure on with Heimrel. Moving on the near side, steps around Monson. Heimrel going wide. Monson flashes in front of her face. Heimrel decides to take the shot, and Metz is right there. Great choice for Metz all season long. I think she was playing to play in these Viking end zones, right? With wearing the purple, and now she blends. And just another tool in her tool belt there to help fool this Irish offensive attack.
Yeah, who doesn't want to match the stadium?
Yeah,
they're
it's
playing in?
it's the very long game that Jordan Metz was playing, and I love it. You talked to her after the quarterfinals, and just a sophomore, obviously hasn't been to this stage yet, but has played very well this season. I thought it was impressive. She talked so much about the seniors, even though she deserves so much credit for what they did. But you can tell the leadership they have as Bordson takes the shot. It's deflected back. Treadle trying to track it down, and it will trickle deeper into the zone and allow the Irish to peel it off the goal line. But she's got a good attitude about what she's doing this year, does Jordan Metz.
Yeah, and I liked how much confidence she has in her team to get it done. Of course, that also means she has the confidence in herself to keep that clean slate, but also just knowing her team is going to help her out. They're going to find the back of the net. They're going to put them in position to win today.
I got the impression, too, just watched it back a couple of times. We had that highlight on SportsDin, too, just that interview. Yeah, she's a sophomore now, and you can tell that she's young, but she seems to have the makings of one of those goalies that you like to have, right? That can be a leader in the back, can be vocal, and can be someone that can really spur this team, even from the back end in net. And that's something that's going to come down the line for her as long as things keep progressing in her career.
And you don't always see that when you're a sophomore.
Right.
You know, when you have a goalkeeper that has to step into that leadership role, who is younger and underclassmen, it really takes a special person to be able to stand up and make their voice be heard.
Addison Wittenberg checks into the game for the Cougars. So Wittenberg, another of those underclass Cougars who hasn't been at this spot before. Just a freshman. Irish take it away near midfield, and Jenna Johnson. The Irish fans, they're into the skill game through the middle of the field. That's where we've seen the biggest cheers so far, when they're able to take it away and hang on to possession. Cougar fans waiting for that lightning-quick Cougar offense to strike here. Cubes trying to peel her way up the field. Looking to direct it down to Wittenberg. Back to the middle, played by Lowinger. Up to the foot of Alice. The right side, Littlefield. We're down inside the final 10 minutes of this first half.
And for either team, you're trying to at least keep this clean slate, make it that you can have the chance to win it in that second half. But, of course, why not go up if you can, if you get that opportunity? But for the Cougars, as they're looking to find the net, if they don't in this first half, they know they have the makings to get it done in the second.
Second half scoring. These two teams met in the championship game in 2016. That's what got it done. It was overtime scoring that eventually finished it off. In 2019, going to overtime, tied at 1 apiece. And here we're still scoreless. Great job coming over by Sydney Cubes to knock that off the foot of the defender of the attacker, Bartlett. Drops it quickly to Wittenberg. Wittenberg up the near side, met by a defender, taken away by Heimrel. Back to the middle of the field.
That attack didn't quite work out by Centennial. Now they get it back, though.
Lauren Alice, she'll take a bouncing shot that is saved by Heck. And there's another one of those. If it's Alice or if it's Bordson, Treadle right in front, they're going to take a swing, and that time Heck equal to the task as we go under 8 minutes.
I'm going to go all the way back to Cubes throwing this one in. You saw the urgency. She knows that they're under 10 and how big a difference it can make if they are able to score here before half.
Ball finds its way deep to the right of Metz. Return back towards the middle, and Metz is right there on the quick boot from Jenna Johnson. Metz standing tall. Third shot on goal, third save for Jordan Metz in this scoreless contest in the first. Ball bouncing through with Treadle trying to find her way to it, but Hecht saw it all the way. Made the stop. Talked about the substitution game, and Coach Gretchen Strammel talking about how deep her team has been. They've played in some lopsided games that allows her to get 20-plus players in some of those. Doesn't always happen at the playoff level where you're in tight games like this. But that's provided her some depth. I think Coach Carlson would say the same about her team. It's a core group, but the way they substitute helps give them that depth. Wittenberg back to the middle. I thought it was interesting in reading about the Irish this year, Blythe, and you can obviously shed more light on this too, as they sprinted up the near side with Shea Payne. Trying to get it back to the middle, deflected by the Cougars. You know, club soccer are always big for all these players as well outside of the high school season. And a lot of players will play at different clubs, at different levels, wherever it might be. It turned out for the Irish, they have a lot of their players who play on the exact same club team as well, which even adds to their chemistry, which is kind of rare, right? You love your teammates in high school, but you don't always play at the same club.
Yeah, I remember I didn't play at the same club as a lot of my teammates in high school. Our club that was closest to us wasn't as good, and wanting to make sure that you continue to push yourself, and a lot of us played spread apart. And you see the impact it can make, though, when teams are able to play together. They already have that connection as they come into the season and can only work to get better.
Cubes boots that one away. 9 players on this Irish team all play for Minnesota Thunder Academy. It helps, obviously, like you say, where they are. There's a lot of good ones to choose from that they could all come together. They do mix and match with where they play. They don't all play the same positions either at club, which I'm sure is pretty common too, depending on the makeup of the club teams versus those high school teams. It all's coming together for the Irish, this senior class. Highly successful, back here again to the semifinals for the second time in 3 state tournaments.
But how valuable it is to know, is your teammate more apt to send you that ball to your feet? Are they going to send you in space? And when you already are on the same page to start a season, and we've seen how well, even just these Cougars, since they've played together throughout how many seasons, a lot of them.
Bordson tried to feed that ahead to Strating. First touch there was instead Joey Edgar. Strong senior defender able to step in. Cougar throw in. Under 5 minutes to play in the first half. 10 a.m. start, just like it was back in 2019 for that semifinal.
And the team that's going through is playing at 8 a.m.
Right.
And so that's quite a difference too.
You like that, though? I mean, the reason is, obviously, there's 3 classes. They don't always want to make Class A play at 8 a.m. They switch it around a little bit. They do the same thing for football from time to time. But whenever you play, right, you just got to find a way to get up. And like you said off the top, you just adjust what your routine is, get some rest the night before, be ready to go.
I was someone, though, who always came back home after school and would take kind of a little snooze before before I got back up and
just like
got
getting
ready
up in the morning
play.
anyway, right?
So a little bit, yeah.
That one out off the Irish, worked well by Treadle on the near side. Tatum Treadle had the big run through the section tournament. 4 goals in a game to help the Cougars win the section title. Beating Cambridge Isani in the first round, Duluth East in the second, and then Treadle's big day helped them beat number 2 Andover. In front, header, deflected, and it goes the wrong way. Defense was there pressuring Cubes. Couldn't get right around on it. Sent right back down by Ollis. Cubes was in front and just couldn't settle it down. Out for a goal kick with 3:10 remaining.
I remember the evening before my state tournament game at the Metrodome, and it was funny because it almost felt like those nerves when you have, whether it's like your first day of school or something, like I felt like I couldn't fall asleep. I was so excited, and especially since the game was going to be early, I played at these same time slots. So when I thought about trying to make sure I went to bed early, it was kind of tough to get there when you couldn't fall asleep.
And then you just got to hope that energy comes back the next day, right? When you have to get up, that 6 a.m. alarm. Cougars would love to have that problem. So would the Irish, coming up on Saturday to play in the 8 a.m. game to win a state title. Hollis, hands free, is tried to avoid that contact. Grate ended up down on the deck. They said play on. 2:20 remaining in a scoreless first half. Strating tried to hit Treadle, moving downfield, deflected away. Back in front, wheeled there by Rentoul. Rentoul takes the boot, and that one's well wide. And Metz can change the field here and see if the Cougars can own the final 2 minutes of this first half. At least own it, maybe come away with a goal. Teams have played even. Both teams with chances. 3 corner kicks for the Irish, 4 for the Cougars. Neither team obviously cashing in on those yet. Centennial taking a chance to try and get it up the near side to Wittenberg. Intercepted. Cubes gets it right back with a first touch defensively. Aly Hamski playing in the middle. Lauren Allis took a high kick, headed up towards the face. Looks like there wasn't actually any contact there. In the middle. Wittenberg comes back for defensive support, steps in between that pass. Sends it down the field. Coach Carlson pointing that way, trying to get somebody to fill into that spot. Cougars couldn't get there in time, so it's still more pressure from the Irish. Minute 10 remaining. Back to the middle up front. Coming back to the near side. Gratte will sit in this one, goal line and wide to the near side with a minute remaining. 18-1, 12 wins in Northwest Suburban Conference play for first-year head coach Krista Carlson and this Cougar team. And now right back to the state semifinals. They have been 6 times now in their 8 trips to the state tournament, all coming since 2009. Little did anyone know back in 2009. Maybe Coach Flohog knew. Maybe she had that feeling she was building something, but little did they know what that tournament in 2009 would begin for this Cougar program. Now looking for their 2nd state title. At least to go to the game for the 3rd time since 2016. That one booted out. Final 15 seconds, so one more burst of defense here for the Cougars to keep it a scoreless half. And these two teams with 30 combined shutouts looking for 40 more minutes to decide this semifinal. Another 40 shutout for these two sterling defenses. We'll go to the half. Cougars nothing, Irish nothing. This one will be decided in half number 2 or later. Cougars and Irish in the state semifinals in Class 3A right here on North Metro TV.
Ready right now. Ready right now.
During the COVID-19 pandemic, parents have kept their children home to keep them safe. As a result, pediatric visits and vaccinations have been missed. Although there's no vaccine yet for COVID-19, there are vaccinations available to prevent other serious illnesses. Now is a good time to check your child's records and schedule an appointment with their provider. To request your child's vaccination record, call 651-201-3980 or visit health.mn.gov/immunize.
Second half from US Bank Stadium about to start. JW Cox alongside Blythe Whaley. And Blythe, that first half, it was very even. We both remarked as soon as we took the headsets off that it felt a lot different than that quarterfinal game where Wayzata had all the momentum and all the pressure in the first half. So no adjustment there, but obviously both of these teams are going to try to get a little finer on the offensive end and make some of those chances count.
Yeah, and what are you going to do to have that extra little bit to actually see that ball find the back of the net? You've seen these ladies get in that final third, but now when you start to get towards crunch time, they're going to probably have to try to bring out some of those tricks here later in the second half.
A step through and a chance for Gratte, and it's saved by Jordan Metz. There's the first best chance of the second half, and Jordan Metz turns away Ava Gratte, a 13-goal scorer. A rare step by a defender at the back line put Jordan Metz on center stage, and she didn't disappoint. Keeps it scoreless. 1 minute into half number 2. Now more pressure from the Irish. Out of bounds off the Cougars, so a corner kick.
So we saw a few corner kicks on both sides there in the first half, and now as we get towards the second half, we don't want to see too many of those. These give the opportunity, that ball sent into the box, and you ultimately don't want to give these up as we get later.
Sent through towards the front, a foot on it for the Irish, and a second try too high. Left foot of Shea Payne sent it just too high. Initial try by Jenna Johnson, turned away by the Cougar defense in front. And they have had 2 chances way too close for comfort here, Blythe, in this second half if you're the Cougars.
And we saw the Cougars have to settle themselves down from the first half in the quarterfinal. Now, they seem settled in the first half. Now coming into the second half, maybe some nerves playing in, knowing it's a scoreless game, knowing that that next goal really could be that deciding one since both teams have yet to score.
Deep throw in for the Cougars. Now the Irish to get it right back. Free ball near side. Irish run on it. There with Ashley Fugit. She pushed it back, looking for space. There's Cubes to send it towards midfield. Cougars need some possession here. Coming up on 3 minutes into this second half. We're scoreless. 4 saves made by Jordan Metz, 3 of those coming in the first half. 1 just now here in the second. 3 saves made on the other side all in the first half by Jordan Heck. We've seen all the activity 90-plus yards away from her so far in the second half. Now Bordson trying to change that dynamic. Off her foot, taken away by Heimrel. Heimrel veers towards the middle. She's bothered by Monson. Steps her way around. Off the foot of Littlefield. Chance for Johnson. Johnson to cross. Back to the middle. Cougar defense there. That one's too high again for Grate. She's had 2 fantastic chances, and that one sailed high. Metz, no part of it with the fingertips, and the Rosemount students love what they're seeing right in front of them now here in half number 2.
And we've seen both of those shots go up and over that crossbar for the Irish, and that's often because you're leaning back. You're just trying to make sure you get something on it, quickly taking that shot. But they're putting the pressure on Metz and making sure that the Cougars know they're ready to take it to them in the second half.
Lauren Ollis whistled for the foul right near midfield as the Cougars be back to defend again. So this a little more like we saw in the first half against Wayzata, where the Trojans came out as the stronger team in that half, or at least the team with more possession. Now it's the Irish. Again, put that ball dangerously down towards Metz. Has the space away from the goal to keep it clear. Still scoreless all the way down the field, looking to get it into the middle for Sarah Strading. Marissa Frost off to her left. Strading changes places with her to try and attack down the sideline. Has to get it past Heimrel and can't do it. Heimrel, a good aggressive take there defensively to stop that potential charge for the Cougars. There's Cubes. Took it away instantly for Centennial, gets herself into the act. Centennial pushes it ahead, and Heck near the goal line scoops it up. 35-20 remaining here in this second half.
And you wonder if you're the Cougars, if at halftime you might have let your guard down a little bit. You kept that clean slate. Your defense played a decent first half, and your offense got some opportunities. So possibly coming into the second half, you were feeling somewhat good about how you played in that first half. And now the Irish have taken it up a notch.
Have to match that intensity. Metz forced to punch it away, and does. It'll be a corner coming up for the Irish. And Jordan Metz makes a tremendous save. That the best look on goal. I believe it was Ryland Rintoul who sent that one towards the crossbar, and Jordan Metz punches it away.
And I know I talked about not wanting to give up the corner, but there are opportunities when you do have to make that choice, and this was definitely what Metz had to do in that position.
Another corner towards the front. A lot of traffic. Booted away. Just kept out of the net by the Cougars. The foot of Caroline Lowinger, the only thing that kept this one scoreless. Cubes was on the spot, and a full team effort. Students along the goal line thought it went through, but the Cougars made the stop.
We talk about how big of an impact Metz has been back there in net. Her defensive line helping her keep that clean slate a few times here today.
Ball ricochets to the near side where Belby will track it down. Cougars trying to counterattack here. Get back some of the pressure that they had in the first half. That one through and wide. Heck lets it go. Head straighting coming down the middle. We are still scoreless. Way too close to comfort, though, of giving up that first goal to the Irish. Here, just less than 7 minutes in. Tatum Treadle will check into the game. She came in off the bench early in the first half. Does so here for Belby. Bordson. Right from midfield, comes to the near side. Got it to Strating. Strating with space if she can keep it in, and she does. Strating, chance to cross, down to the goal line. She will cross, in front, headed away by the defense of the Irish. And cleared down the near side. Cougars trying to keep that pressure on, and it will be Irish ball. Good flip of the field, though. Cougars have to try to get it back. 50-50 ball towards the middle, and the Irish able to send it down towards their attacking third. Runs there only as far as Lowinger, who boots it away. Up the far side for Frost. Loses a step to the defender. Forces her deeper down into the corner, though. Good play up the near side, and Brooklyn Bordson did not hold that one in. Good defense by Grace Bartlam for Rosemount.
Still a lot of time in this game. Even if we do see one find the back of the net here in the next few minutes, their opponent will have that time to try to get it back.
Both of these defenses far less than a goal per game. Cougars at about half a goal per game on the average as Alice takes it away. 0.2 goals per game is what the math comes out to for the Rosemount Irish with their 5 goals allowed this season. Even though if you took the games in which these two teams allowed goals, which were not many, 9 combined, you took those and the goals that they allowed, they would still be a top 20 defense in all of Class 3.
That's crazy. So awesome, man, for both of these teams.
And obviously with the shutouts mixed in, even better as that one trickles back. Strong enough to get all the way back there to Jordan Metz. Mette has been a thorn in the side so far in half number 2. She's kind of leading that charge of what Blythe said with Rosemount turning it up a notch. It has started with this junior midfielder. And that one all the way out. Sydney Cubes thought there was going to be an offsides anyway, but it's out for the goal kick.
You absolutely have to play through those. Just like my coach was saying when I played here, it was even if the ball's going out, because the lines can be confusing too. You're just going to keep playing, continue playing until it's a for sure that you know that ball is dead.
Cubes breaks midfield with that free kick, with that goal kick. Cougars, they'll work it back to try and maintain possession. Littlefield up the near side, deflected back. Bordson has a chance to sprint on it. Brooklyn Bordson trying to step inside the defender, withstood some contact, no whistle. Working over there now, back in the fray with Frost. Frost working against Bartlam. We saw this battle moments ago along that same sideline. Cougars send it out of bounds. Throw in coming up for the Irish.
Oftentimes you think of a defense just being that back line, but the best defenses are the ones that are starting with the forwards, and you see how much pressure up top the Cougars have just given the Irish trying to break out of their own end.
Knocked up the field, and that was off of Sydney Cubes. All the way out past the goal line, so another corner coming up. Another corner for the Irish, the third here of this half already. Seen every corner deep so far, despite having an extra player down in the corner. No contact that time. Just a slight deflection by the Irish out of bounds, past the goal line. And it will be Cougar ball. Just under 29 minutes to go in half number 2. Scoreless, trying to decide who faces Stillwater on Saturday. Ponies already through with an upset victory of the number 1 seed in the tournament. The 4 who had knocked off the 5 seed Lakeville North in the first round. Took care of Edina 3-2. Trying to get Alice involved on the wing near side. Out of bounds, Cougar throw in. Got the ball girls in play here at US Bank Stadium as well. Certainly a fun thrill for what are undoubtedly at least young soccer fans, if not young soccer players already.
Yeah, and for them to be on the sidelines witnessing what it takes to get to this level and build that excitement.
Nothing, just a play on. Cougars able to get to the ball with Alice. Why you keep playing through like your coach said, right? Both players hit the deck. Everybody was expecting something to be called. Nothing was. Frost trying to extricate it up the near sideline, but out of bounds, and a throw in coming up for the Irish. And you go back now with this Cougar history in this program and the players on the field, where undoubtedly some of those ball girls, maybe not here, but certainly at Cougar games at Cougar Stadium. As we're talking 12 years of history back to 2009. And where that puts these players when this great era of Cougar soccer began. Grate to the near side again. Return pass to Johnson. Johnson with space. Cougars recovering. Johnson shot. Snared by Metz. 27 minutes to go. Big, quick, booming kick by Metz. Treadle had a chance at it. Couldn't settle it down. Great day for it. Obviously, we're inside, so you've got the climate control, no wind, but sunshine and blue skies outside, so that sunshine streaming through the half roof here. Side of the roof is see-through, plus the windows at either end. Makes for a great atmosphere for this semifinal game.
Remember the Metrodome feeling so dry when you're out there running and trying to make sure that you hydrated even more to be able to play inside there. And for these Cougars too, as you think about just having that fresh air versus being inside.
It's got to be a little better now, right?
Definitely.
I mean, several years later, the technology here with the air inside. Treadle in front. Treadle to Alice. Settled. Alice right there. Stopped by Heck. Turns away Marissa Frost. Cougars a great opportunity, and Jordan Heck makes the save. All kinds of traffic in front. We stay scoreless. Irish trying to push upfield. Fed down, race for the ball. Metz meets Cubes. Try ended for the Irish. Yeah, the doors are closed off to the left, so there's nothing coming in from there. Obviously, it's a chilly day. We're in the 30s outside. Start to forget about that once you're in here at this level, which is nice. Some of the players, I'm sure, wished it would have started at the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
Trip called, and a free kick straight on the attacking half for the Irish. Just under 25 to play in this scoreless game.
Yeah, I remember my mom had all the layers, of course, for that quarterfinal, and then she felt like she had to keep all the layers coming here. She thought it was lucky. Worked out for us, but she said she was really hot.
She's baking in the stands at the Metrodome.
Yep.
That is parental commitment right there. Grate. Low bouncer, and Metz able to see traffic. That looked like a hockey instance right there, Blythe, where there's a little traffic in front of the net. And that time Metz keeps the eye on the bouncing ball, makes the stop.
She has been so good all game, staying engaged, and certainly the Irish have given reason to stay engaged as they've put some on her.
Tatum Treadle trying to settle that down, but the pass was just too far in front. She took that big long step and lost her footing. Cougars looking to connect. They nearly got it, moving the ball in front. As Jordan Heck made a big save on a secondary try moments ago from Marissa Frost. That's their best opportunity here the second half. And now a foul's going to be called on Grate, getting up and down on the defender.
This at least will be helpful for the Cougars. Get the ball up the field They haven't been in that final third as much as they were in the first half, so they can use that extra help to get there.
Bordson tracks back, try and find the lane forward. Strating's up, Treadle's up, Frost are up. That was to the side of Strating. Bounded past her and taken away by the Irish. Hollis tracking that ball side to side, trying to win possession. Opportunistic step through for Avery Littlefield. No, that was Lowinger that time. Tried to give pressure back to the Cougars. Monson makes contact, deflects it out, throw in coming up for the Irish. Under 23 minutes to go in this second half. Substitutions for the Irish. Already seen substitutions in the second half for the Cougars. Thurman and Nora Garrett, senior defender, checking in. Chemistry's got to help too. New player comes in, taking over. Still know what to expect. We talked about the 9 players that basically play year-round together, playing on the same Thunder Academy club team. Deep throw in, strong throw in, and that header knocked away by the Irish for Cougar goal kick. Second game of the semifinal. What is it, Thursday? It's hard to keep track. We had volleyball on a Wednesday, big football day tomorrow, second rounds, state tournaments and the like for 6A, and hoping for a championship matchup with also a section volleyball matchup on Saturday for our North Metro TV squads. It's been a busy week. And an early Thursday, and the Cougars trying to fight on. Cubes takes it away, and she's got space to roam here. Does her own close quarters footwork, battling with Heimler. And they say out of bounds, Cougar ball. Cubes never wastes any time getting to the throw in, getting it in. Finding Treadle, who was cut off, and then Treadle will push after she was cut off, and that foul call will come on Tatum Treadle. Got to be aggressive, though. That's how the Irish stayed so close 2 years ago. You remember that was a team with Kaya Harper, 30-plus goals for Harper. They basically shut her down in that game, and it was physicality that knocked Harper off her game a little bit, kept her off her game. You didn't see many games that year that the Cougars won that Kaya Harper didn't score.
True.
That was one of them. Ball bounces free to Hollis. Hollis scored in that one, the game-winning penalty kick. The Hollis family knows all about that. She had a overtime shootout goal that was good, as that one deflects off the Cougars and out for a corner for Rosemount. It was her sister in 2016, Amanda Hollis, who pushed the Cougars past Lakeville North, Chisago Lakes High School, outdoors in the quarterfinals to get them here in 2016, the year that they would go on to win the state title. Whistle for contact in the box as that one flew over. And the Irish fans on cue don't like it. 20 minutes to go. We're halfway done with half number 2.
That's where you really have to start turning it on. There's not much time left in this game. You know a goal can happen under 30 seconds, sure, but when you haven't had as many opportunities, like I said, the Cougars in the first half were in that final third, putting it on Hecht, and now it's been a little more rare in the second half as Hollis steps in.
Hollis takes the boot and hits the crossbar. That was it, and inches keep this one scoreless. Bordson along the sideline, along the goal line. She's tripped. Is that in the box? It is. Deja vu all over again, and the Cougars will get a penalty kick try to take a lead against the Irish in the state semifinals.
Now this is massive. The Cougars, they did just have that penalty shootout to get to this point. They've had those repetitions. They talked about practicing it in practice, but now Hecht has been able to possibly see video of what these ladies do. So is she going to know which side they're picking?
Brooklyn Bordson will take this one. 2 years ago, it was McKenna Monson. Madison Monson, excuse me. This for a goal. Live after she kicks it. Bordson v. Hecht. Bordson stopped by Hecht. Ball still loose, and Hecht pounces on it to keep us scoreless.
Now these ladies, they got to keep their heads up. The Cougars, they got to that point. They made that happen to get that PK. Just do it again.
We stay scoreless. Jordan Hecht gave up 2 penalty kick goals 2 years ago in this building. And now the junior stops one in the second half of a scoreless game with less than 20 minutes to go. Have to be aware of that counter from the Irish. Like Blythe said, keep the head up. Keep playing the game that just got you there.
And if I was a coach, I would have been having my goalkeeper watching video of other teams. Whoever you're thinking you're going to be playing next, she probably already knew if Brooklyn Bordson typically goes left, which side to hop to.
And after this was out of bounds, the official on the side calling over the field official, so they stopped time with 19:16 remaining. Now, I don't think this was about anything about the play. I didn't catch the clock during the PK. Now it's rolling again in the stadium, which I don't think it should be at the time. So we're going to have to adjust time at the very least. Is the clock running on the penalty kick?
I wish I would have looked. Yeah, I'm not sure.
So we have the extra down official on the table, plus the field official. And also the Irish, another player in here, trying to sort out what's going on. The clock has now stopped at 18:40.
Now it just went down 18-18.
That's where they wanted it to be. They can change it manually. They let it run, I think, knowing that more time was supposed to be off. So it'll be 18-18 on the clock. I can only assume that the clock then was not running during the penalty kick, and should have been, right? It's still, or do you stop it for the PK? Or they didn't start it probably soon enough after it was kicked, right? So now closer to 18 minutes remaining in this one. Cougars make the first touch on the throw-in. You want to see him get it out of this into the field after that, right? The disappointment, a little bit of letdown, not getting the penalty kick to go. They want the defense to clear it out so the Irish don't maintain that momentum. Bounding ball, booted away. Metz was there. Alice trying to sprint to it and deflect it out. It is a Cougar throw-in, so they've got a chance to survive that push from the Irish. Brooklyn Bordson, who had one of those penalty kicks in the overtime, the shootout in the quarterfinals. Got one to go. That time went low. And Hecht, as you said, undoubtedly studying what she can. Made the stop on Bordson. There was I feel like there was a little bit of an expectation from the teammates that it was going to go because no one really rushed. Obviously, you have to wait, but there was a little bit of rebound. And nobody was there. Bouncing ball, Treadle off the face of Hecht. Again, it's Frost, and she just puts it wide with only defenders in the net. Hecht came out and challenged Tatum Treadle. Deflected it wide. Marissa Frost knew time was wasted and just let it fly and bounced it wide. Good pressure, though, from the Cougars yet again.
And now we've seen them step up a bit. They've had these opportunities now in the box, and they didn't in the early parts of the second half. And they're going to need to continue to make that adjustment as we get down now, 16:43 left. Lighting
the fire with a little under 17 to go. Each passing moment, you kind of had that feeling one goal might do it between these two teams. But each passing moment, that becomes even more likely to be the case. Bounding ball, Metz the save! Turns away Shea Payne on the near side. Big sigh for Jordan Metz. She puts her right foot into this one. She has stepped up in a big way, made 8 saves in the quarterfinals. That's now 7 here in the semifinals. Ball ahead to Strating. Little strong. Strating back to it on the goal line, and they say off Strating. She was lobbying for the corner kick and won't get it. Hecht on the other side has made 6 saves, none bigger than on the penalty kick. Foul in the box on Brooklyn. Boardson stepped up to take it. It just couldn't convert.
And kudos to Hecht, because we talked about earlier in this game of what that could do mentally, knowing that she has been on the worst end of that oftentimes in the previous games.
Talk about the redemption tour for this team. Well, their goalie has now taken step 1 of her own personal redemption tour, stopping a penalty kick. Boardson crosses, deflected by the Irish. Hamski trying to get in the way and get that back for the Cougars. Be a Cougar throw in just shy of midfield, just shy of 15 minutes to go here in the second half. Again, Payne steps into it, and that goes into row 4. Those fancy 50-yard line seats here at US Bank Stadium. Hamski boots it away. Good defensive game played by Grace Bartlett. She's a junior. She has made life tough along the sidelines for these Cougar forwards. Deflected out. 14.5 to go.
Not a whole lot of urgency right now as we start to get down. You want to make sure that you're putting yourself in position earlier than later to get this goal and have it happen.
Treadle, her ball deflected. Monson was there to try and track it down. It was just past her, and Nora Garrett, fresh off the bench, sends it away. It'll be a Cougar throw-in. Irish didn't think so. Loud protest there for Jessica Oliver, who's also just off the bench. Throw-in goes to Boardson. Avoids the official as it bounces to Alice. Looking for Strating. Instead, it finds the foot of Bartlett. Under 14 to play. Alice on the sideline. Littlefield tried to poke it ahead. Instead, it's deflected back. Lowinger back towards the middle of the field. Well executed by Hamski to get it back to the attacking half for the Cougars. Rosemount, though, takes it away. Littlefield and Hamski in close quarters. Aly Hamski with a little move along the sideline. She'll send it towards the middle. Nobody home for Centennial. Frost over to pressure as the ball will trickle back to Hecht. Played there by her own teammates, so she'll boot it out. Frost tried for the deflection, didn't get it. 13 minutes to go here in this second half. Irish looking to make a push. Thurman up the far side, right to Cubes. Cubes steps through. The play on there as an Irish player hits the deck. Trickles off the foot. It looked like off the foot of a Cougar, but played by the hands of Jordan Metz.
When it's deflected, oftentimes getting the better of the doubt. And she didn't purposely pass that ball to Metz, and so she's able to pick that one up. But definitely you don't always want to take that for granted, especially in a game like this.
Heart stop for a second. Treadle. Space to work. Treadle towards Strating. Strating top of the box. Strating wide. Strating deflected down. Pressure on from Hamski at the back. Great defense again, and who else? Grace Bartlett comes off her defensive spot to move it across midfield. She got enough of that secondary attempt from Sarah Strating. As we hit the 12-minute mark of half number 2, we are still scoreless here at US Bank Stadium. It's two teams that allowed a combined 15 goals across 39 games. 30 combined shutouts. And those two defenses, some great goaltending work, particularly in this second half, both ways. Those two defenses are writing the story so far. Heimrel to the far side. Played high towards Frost. Pushed out by Monson initially, back to Cubes. Cubes knocked down, and that will draw the foul. A little bit of a conversation. Oliver called for the foul. Cubes to put the big leg into it. Does to midfield, off the header of Boardson. Irish get the next touch. It's out of bounds for a Cougar throw-in. A little bit of a break for Sarah Strading. I doubt that this is the end of her run here in this game, as Addison Van Zee checks in. Not a lot of time left to make another substitution, but she could get back in there. Van Zee, just the sophomore. She scored a goal in the postseason, 7 in the regular year. She'll own this near side. 50-50 ball towards her there. Irish to it first. And that one high up on the arm of Caroline Lounger. She knew it right away. Irish don't wait to take the free kick there. Just try to put it in motion. And the Cougars take it away. Monson far side. Up to Treadle. To the middle for Boardson. Boardson hesitates once and twice. Dumps it to Van Zee. She goes wide. Addison Van Zee a little too strong for herself there. And then boots it out across the goal line. Turns, and with a little more control, Blythe, she could have a look at either a shot or a cross as we go under 10 minutes remaining in regulation. Scoreless game, Cougars and Irish. Either a thrilling finish, well, one way or the other, a thrilling finish in regulation or overtime awaiting here in the semifinal number 2 of Class 3A. There's Boardson. She's got Treadle on the near side now. Tripped up just slightly, leaves it for Tatum Treadle. Turns a quick corner. Bumps to the middle, that's Hamski. Hamski up ahead to Alice. Alice top of the box, far side. Frost sends it netward, and Hecht is there with Van Zee crashing. And Jordan Hecht takes it out of the air.
But at least on this one, we do see Van Zee crashing. She was trying to be there. We talked about that PK opportunity that no one was crashing. And just to make sure that any of those potential bobbles that the keeper has, that you're going to be there to put this one back in as we get down with hardly any minutes on the clock. Cougars,
the throw in. Goes down to Frost on the near side. Out of bounds. It's been a pair of Jordans so far in Hecht and Metz who have shut these opponents down in front of net. Hecht with 6 saves officially credited, 7 credited to Jordan Metz for the Cougars. Loose ball. Cougars couldn't get there in time. Chance for Alice taken away. Payne, shot, too high. Good read by Metz, didn't have to contact it. Under 8 to go in regulation.
They've had about 3 of those just soar over the crossbar. Imagine if they would have been on net, and Metz would have had to make those saves as well.
Ashley Fugit back into the game. And that didn't look completely planned. That's Taylor Heimrell, one of their great midfielders, and she looked a little bit out of sorts coming off the sideline there, and she's straight to the bench to sit down. So that's big for the Irish. Cougars on the near side. We're not able to keep it in. It's Irish ball.
Yeah, we talked earlier, Heimrell having 14 goals for the Irish and 20 assists. And so you would think that she might be one of those players that would have got it done for them.
I feel like today we've called her name more defensively too in that midfield role, having to turn away some of these Cougar rushes. It's going to take, it takes the whole team to play defense as well as they do. Treadle settles it far side for Frost. Frost attacking. Frost in front, deflected away. And cleared by the Irish. Nora Garrett that time with the defense. Up steps Cubes to keep the pressure and the possession for the Cougars. Trying to feed it to Frost again, knocked back towards Hamski. Ball to midfield for the Irish. Cougars have the numbers back defensively, but a through ball forcing Metz all the way up to the top of the box. She sends it cleanly out.
Yeah, great job by Metz. Just making sure that she was going to make that run, not make that 50-50 ball happen with her defender. She's just going to clear it out herself.
Under 7 minutes to go in regulation. Bounding ball back into the attacking third for the Irish. Little backdoor, back heel pass to the goal line. Cross and too deep into the side of the net there. Johnson just couldn't get high enough on that to try and give teammates a chance in front. Goal kick here, 6:10 remaining at US Bank Stadium. A shot at the state title on the line on Saturday. And for now, all intents and purposes, one goal seems like it's going to do it. Fortson.
Only one team gets to be that team that goes out with a win on her season, and as they try to work to do that, to give themselves a chance in that final.
Down on the near side, Cougars not messing around with it. Lowinger lets the defense reset. Throw in coming up for the Irish. 5.5 minutes to go in regulation. These two teams have been through this before. It was that 2019 semifinal. October 28th, 2019 at 10 a.m., just like the 10 a.m. time slot for this. Pair of goals in that second half, though. Penalty kick converted. Cougars did not convert on a penalty kick in this second half. And into overtime, where the penalty kick scored by Lauren Aly sent the Cougars to the state title game. Crucial throw-in coming right here with under 5 minutes to play in regulation. Cougars withstood some great early chances in the opening minutes, as here comes Sarah Strading. Lauren Aly looked to be working out a cramp. Marissa Frost will sit. So Strading in. Treadle, Strading, Van Zee. Forwards playing up front. You know, Aly and Boardson either try to be the ones to distribute. That one towards Van Zee, deflected back towards Boardson. There's Aly playing right in the middle near the official. Boardson, speed to the box. Boardson tried to get the pass away, ends up down on the deck, no whistle this time. Cougars can keep the pressure on. Back towards Van Zee to Treadle. Aly on the spot. Aly taken down. Treadle with possession. Treadle going wide. Takes the cross in front, just a step behind. Van Zee was there and couldn't connect. 4 minutes to go.
And how could the Cougars use this momentum? You can feel that energy they got inside the box. They've been able to cross it, have these opportunities here late in the game. And now, how can you capitalize on one of these and just make sure that this one doesn't go to overtime?
Malia Belby checked into the game there for the Cougars. Feed up on the near side for Payne. She'll shoot it, and it goes wide. Back and forth we go in the final 4 minutes with grade A chances, and we stay scoreless. Was she offsides?
Looks like they called that.
All right.
So that at least.
That's our first one of those all game. The game just hasn't played out that way. So the kick coming all the way out of the box, not for the goal kick. Irish get that initial push. It slips past Monson. There's Lowinger booting into the sideline. Under 3 minutes to play in regulation. Almost don't have to tell Cougar fans what happens in overtime. They know all about it. Think back to last week. 2 10-minute sessions. But still work to do to at the very least get there. Cougars would love to avoid it with a late goal. Irish hunting the same thing. Tight quarters, passing for Grate. All she can do is shove it ahead, and Metz saw it all the way. 2:20 remaining. Jordan Metz.
She didn't get the pace on it that she would have wanted to. Of course, in front of net, you just want to make sure you get the shot off at least, and sometimes that means you're not allowed to get that extra step for the pace to be on it.
Straightening up to Van Zee, trying to work around her defender. Had it poked away by Ashley Harold. Worked up by the Irish. Great takeaway there to end that without a second chance at pressure for the Cougars. And now reverse for Rentour. She ends up down on the deck.
You know, the Cougars, they have to get back, get ready to defend. You see some of them walking, and you saw how quickly they took this kick last time. They might not take it as quick this time, but
it's Caroline,
why not be in position?
Caroline Lowinger gets the yellow card. So a key moment to bring a key defender, Lowinger, off. So draws the card. And that's going to push the Cougars deeper into the bench here. It's got to be Maddie Stratsky.
And what happens when they do this is, you know, she's standing right there. She's going to come back in as soon as she's able to. But you do have to take that step off the field and hope her team can manage to get her still to be in this position.
They took the free kick. And took it early, so they're going to have to do it again. Booted through. Cougars get the first touch on it. Knocked away, and this whistle on the Irish with 1:41 to go. I'm sorry, that's Nasifei Bula, a junior who came in there after the yellow card. Not a player we saw in the regular season as Strading has it on the far side. Strading has it knocked away, and that's going to be a Cougar ball. Throw in deep, 1:10 to go, and that will get Lowinger back in the game. So Bula comes back off. Sprinting her way there. 54 seconds remaining. Cougars deep in the attacking third with a chance to do something to win this right now. Back it goes to Hamski. Aly Hamski, the shot and the score! Cougars 1-0 with 41 seconds to go.
Incredible, Aly Hamski. She came up big time in that PK shootout to send them here to the semifinal. And now coming up, 41 seconds on the clock, she puts one in the back of the net. Wow.
Second goal of the postseason for Hamski, plus that PK that Blythe mentioned. She has been huge in the state tournament. "41 seconds to defend. The Cougars up 1-0. Time wasted and a goal kick now for Metz. She has made 7 saves in this game. Aly Hamski, the senior, coming through late. 15 seconds to go. A game that was scoreless till the final 40 seconds. Treadle, the big boot through. The final 5. Down the field, Strading once another. And just wide, but it doesn't matter. The horn will sound, and the Cougars go back to the state title game.
What a hard-fought battle between these two teams. You saw how hard the Irish were working in the second half, trying to make it happen, but the Cougars, they get it done when they need to. They didn't have quite the second half as they did in the first half, but they did have that big moment when they needed to.
Just takes one. And Aly Hamski on a deep throw in with under 40 seconds left. Found it to the foot, took the shot quick, and did not miss. And the Cougars going over to congratulate the Irish because they know that that one easily could have gone that other way too, and now it's to their own fans to celebrate with the students.
This is an incredible feeling too. These ladies getting to go over and just thank them for being here. It is such a big experience for them to also see those people who have supported them to get here.
Cougars win it 1-0. Well, now they get to put those 8 a.m. plans into play, Blythe, because they got to come ready to play on Saturday. Stillwater and Centennial. Cougars and ponies for the state title. And Centennial gets it done in the semis, 1-0. What a game, what a season. They'll rematch against the ponies who they played back on October 2nd to a 1-0 thrilling finish. After that thrilling finish, go down to the field. Blythe Whaley standing by. Blythe?
Thanks, JW. Getting to talk to these ladies again here after the state semifinal, having such an impact in the quarterfinal. To come to today, Aly Hamski, you're right next to me. We'll talk to you first. And what did that mean to you to be able to step up and find the back of the net with 41 seconds left in this game?
It felt so great, especially as a senior, and just helping the team go through and all the seniors. And after Brooklyn missed that PK, it was a great shot. Goalie had an amazing save. We just didn't want it to end like that, so I don't know, putting it away, it felt so good.
And you're a senior, and the Centennial Cougar team has been able to make it to the state tournament. You've played in 5 yourself, and now your senior year, you want to end on top.
Mm-hmm.
How were you planning on making that happen? Did you think you were going to be the one to do it?
No, I didn't. I mean, being my 5th game in state, I've done it before, so I know what it's like, and just helping all the other girls that haven't been to the bank just get used to it felt good, and leading the team, it was amazing.
To get to finally make it to that final game to try to end your season with a win. How excited are you that you made it that far?
I'm so excited. It would be so great to win state last year, but we've made it so far, and I'm so proud of the team.
Last question for you would just be, take me through what that was like before you were able to actually get that winning goal. It was 0-0, you're at halftime. What did Coach Krista Carlson tell you?
Yeah, she told us we had the ball most of the first half, and we were getting chances. We just had to put them away. Rosemount came out pretty strong in the first half, so we had to step it up a little bit, but we ended up finding the net at the end, so it was good.
Overall, Aly, great job this season and throughout your career. But
thank you
so much.
Thank you.
Jordan, we're going to talk with you. Jordan Metz, another amazing impact player here today. You had 7 saves, and a lot of those were big-time saves. Of course, this game coming down to just that one goal to win it. What did that mean to you to be able to make sure you kept that clean slate?
It meant a lot. The team was working so hard, so I had to put up my end, and it was just good. It was good all around. So.
And of course, you see that missed PK opportunity earlier in the game. What was going through your head knowing that you didn't get that opportunity to go ahead quite yet?
I just knew we had to keep pushing. We were going to get one, and it was going to come. So I didn't feel any nerves because I knew we can do it. So.
Exactly what you're saying is how I felt watching you. You felt like you looked so confident in your role today, stepping out, making those big plays. But Jordan, congrats. Just a sophomore having such an impact on this Cougar squad. Good luck in the finals. You're coming up on Saturday.
Thank you.
Well, that does it here. We'll send it back to you, JW. The Centennial Cougars moving on in the semifinals.
7 saves in the game for Jordan Metz. The 1 goal coming for Aly Hamski. And that's what it took to get the Cougars back to the state title game, trying to win their 2nd state championship in girls soccer. For Blythe Whaley and everyone with North Metro TV, I'm JW Cox. Thanks so much for joining us. Cougars move on and will play for a state title in 2021. You watched it all right here on North Metro TV.
City, you a cloud. Ready right now. 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 Ready, ready right now. Hey. Ready right now. Ready right now. Ready right now. Ready, 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 ready right now. Ready, 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 ready right now. Ready, 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 ready.
Thank you.
Hear that, Jeremy or Kenton or whoever does this? That's what you can do.